This morning, your morning commute. It's a winter wonderland with more snow falling overnight. I'll have your latest traffic conditions.
And why you might not want to wait to clear your sidewalk. We'll lay out what it could cost if you wait too long.
And we're still actively tracking some snowflakes falling across at least some of southern Wisconsin. We'll recap how much everyone saw overnight.
Good morning. Happy snowy Friday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford, Josh Breider, Savannah Burrito. All out on the patio because it looks gorgeous.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
It sure is. This will help get you in the holiday spirit. Savannah, the First Warn Weather Team, nailed this one. I mean, the totals coming in, reflecting what you all had in the forecast, and the snow. Light stuff still hanging around this morning.
Yeah, you can see the snow flurries still falling. I love that we decorated the trees behind us. It just really gives out the Christmas spirit.
Good thing that they got that done before the snow.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you'll want to grab a shovel or at least a snowblower outside this morning for sure, and allow extra time because road conditions not the best still early this morning. Most of the snow is moving out of here. Janesville, Beloit, and areas across Rockford, northern Illinois, those places are still seeing snow fall, but most of us are seeing that clear. We're not looking at a lot of additional accumulation as far as snowfall goes, and temps remain below freezing level. The problem we're going to run into, blowing snow, visibility issues, and also how low temps get tonight. We'll talk about that, and again, recap all the snowfall totals we got overnight coming up.
Okay, can you give us like a little teaser? I mean, because it looks like we got four, maybe plus inches in Madison here on the west side.
I took a ruler out here. We have it right over there. You can't see it right now, but I measured out here this morning. Alex did last night. He reported 3.8 inches. It was about the same still. So we didn't see a lot after overnight, but yeah, about 4 inches here at the WISC-TV station. So.
All right, it's going to take crews a while to clear the streets in Madison. Let's check in with Kyrian Lee, who is on the live drive this morning. Where are you, and how are the conditions there?
Good morning, you guys. Hope you're staying warm out there on the patio as best as you can. We are traveling on the Beltline going west. Gonna give you a look at the roads right here. Actually, Beltline looking pretty good right now. Just dealing with some wet pavement for the most part, but all that snow cover that was on there early this morning when we were going into work, not seeing it right now. So yeah, just some wet pavement on here on the Beltline. People moving at the normal rate of speed, 55 miles per hour. So things looking good here on the Beltline. However, if you're looking at some of those residential areas, things obviously haven't been touched. It's gonna take crews a little time to get there. But otherwise, if you're commuting along the Beltline this morning, looking good. Headed back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Kyrian. And hey, keep in mind that you're going to be sharing the road out there this morning with 150 pieces of equipment that are trying to clear those roads for you. So give them plenty of space. All right, let's move along now and look at some of the regional condition in our viewing area. Things are different depending on where you are. You see to the southwest, the green means road conditions are pretty good, that the roads are clear, just mainly wet. The blue means roads are partially covered, and the pink means that things are totally covered. So we're watching a few spots here in the News 3 Now viewing area, particularly Highway 60 between Arlington and Kleiman. That is completely snow covered. Parts of Highway 19 and 89 between Waterloo and Watertown, those can be pretty bad. We're also watching 73 between Deerfield and Edgerton, as well as some parts further east. Communities like Fort Atkinson, Hebron, Whitewater, Palmyra, Helenville, Sullivan, those are in a little bit worse condition than some of the other spots. So here in Madison, though, it is going to be a long haul to clear all of the city streets. They're going to start plowing. They're in the middle of plowing right now. It's going to take them until at least early this afternoon, 12 to 14 hours to do the whole city. So please give those crews plenty of extra space this morning. Josh Breider's here with your First Warn traffic. How are conditions looking in the metro?
Hey, Chris, good morning to you. So we're starting with a picture of southern Wisconsin. You saw on that 511 map, we're seeing a lot better road conditions to the south and west of Madison. That's where we're seeing those posted speeds moving a little bit closer to the speed limit. Closer on into Madison, we're starting to see some colors showing up on the map. I can report Highway 14 south of Madison, that's looking much better. 151, 51 also looking better at at this hour. We do expect that to change as more folks are heading out the door. That one incident that we've been tracking all morning, this is I-39 North in Janesville. Right now, the northbound lane, if you are going to be exiting onto Highway 11, that one is closed. That exit to Highway 11 from the northbound side of I-39 is closed. So if you're coming up from Beloit, keep that in mind. You're going to want to exit elsewhere. We'll keep an eye on that. And any other incidents that pop up here in the First Warn Weather Center. Chris, back to you.
All right, thanks, Josh. Hey, we want to give you a live look at that incident down in Rock County on the interstate in Janesville where a semi was involved in a crash. It looks like they're making some progress trying to get that semi out of there that has been blocking that off-ramp to Highway 11. We'll keep checking in. You know, it takes a long time to get a piece that big off the roadway and to clear it for traffic. So hopefully things in Rock County be moving along smoothly there shortly. Just a reminder here, you can stay on top of all the alert conditions, track the snowfall totals for yourself, and get updates on school closures right in the palm of your hand with the free First Warn weather and traffic app. A lot of those rural communities, meantime, are delaying schools this morning. A lot of 10 a.m. starts out there. You can check the ticker at the bottom of your screen, of course, or if you don't have the patience for that, just go to channel3000.com. All right, with the first big snow of the season here, the city of Madison has some important reminders to keep your neighborhood safe and how you can avoid some fines. So if you've got a sidewalk on your property, you've got until noon the day after the snow stops falling to make sure the sidewalks are clear. If you don't clear your sidewalk in time, you could be looking at some hefty fines.
$124 for the first offense, $187 for the second offense. And additionally, if you don't shovel your sidewalk even after that and the city has to come and clear it for you, might sound like a great deal. It's not, because the city will bill you for that. That's going to be over $190 when you factor in the time to do that.
Remember this, you could also be fined for over salting. That's because extra salt typically ends up in our lakes and it is not good for them. So if you need sand instead of salt, there are bins around town for you to use, like that one right there. Now to some more updates on the Abundant Life Christian School shooting. We now know the 15-year-old who shot and killed a teacher and a student this week was only in her first semester at the school. School officials say that she seemed to be settling in. Teachers had been working with her family on attendance, but teachers had no significant concerns. 2 students who were shot remain hospitalized in critical condition this morning. And the FBI has detained a California man allegedly in connection with Monday's shooting here in Wisconsin. Authorities say the California man was planning to attack a government building. Earlier this week, a California judge issued a restraining order against the Carlsbad man, citing the state's red flag gun law. That law varies from state to state. It allows someone like law enforcement to petition a judge to remove guns from a gun owner. It would have to show that they were likely to injure themselves or others. A bill like this was introduced in Wisconsin last year. It failed to get a hearing, though. It could be taken up again this session. Well, the suspected United Healthcare CEO shooter faces some new charges this morning after he arrived in New York yesterday. It's the first time back in the city since authorities say he murdered 50-year-old United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The shooter faces multiple charges, including an act of terrorism. He appeared in court yesterday at 4 additional charges, including stalking and murder. Holiday travel officially begins tomorrow and ends on January 1st. That's according to AAA. AAA expects a record number of travelers this year, with a record 7.8 million expected to fly. AAA and TSA both say this year has been a record-breaking year for air travel. 6:08. Let's take a look at what Savannah's got coming up in the forecast. Hey there.
Hey, Chris. Good morning. We're tracking steady temperatures through the next several hours, but a big drop in temps overnight. We'll talk about why that could be problematic.
And it's almost the weekend in the 608, so I am planning this final weekend before Christmas for you.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back 6:12 on a Friday morning. I'm Josh Spreader with your First Warn traffic. If you're just waking up with us this morning, you do want to give yourself some extra time. We're seeing a lot of colors on the map across southern Wisconsin. Let's go to a couple of trouble spots at this hour. Starting to see some slowdowns on the belt line. That's where we're seeing those yellows and reds popping up. So if you are coming in from the interstate or heading towards the Stoughton Road areas, both sides seeing some slowdowns right now. One incident that we've been following all morning, this is down in Rock County right now, where there's a crash on I-39 49 northbound. This is at the exit to Highway 11, which is closed at this hour. So if you're coming up from south of Janesville from Beloit and you need to exit at Highway 11, you're not going to be able to do so right now. So you're going to want to take an exit before or after to make that happen. I'll keep an eye on any more incidents as the morning commute really ramps up here. Chris, back to you.
All right, Josh. Hey, real quick, want to give people an update on some of the school impacts today. A lot of districts in the viewing area, a lot of rural districts, over 25 of them now are going to start the day late. All late starts except for Adams Friendship up to our north. They are completely closed today. Some of those late calls coming in less than 20 minutes ago. So let's check on the roads. Kyrian Lee is out on the live drive this morning. Kyrian, where are you and how's it looking?
Hey Chris, good morning. We are along Mineral Point Road driving along. Going to show you the road conditions right now. Taking a look here. Lightly snow covered, not too bad, but I would still say you need to take it slow because there are some slick spots simply because the snow is starting to build some slush up on the roads, so it can get a little slippery. So I would say take it easy this morning. However, when we were traveling along the belt line, I know there's some slowdowns now probably as the morning commute starts to pick up, but looks like just some wet pavement right now with a few light covered spots. But we're continuing to track these road conditions for you, and we'll check back in just a little bit. Back to you.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thank you, Kyrian. All right, let's get to Savannah now and a look at your first warn forecast. How much did some folks get overnight?
This is pretty much what we did forecast, although I do want to note all of these totals. These were reported yesterday at about somewhere between noon and then as late as what we had 9 p.m. That was really Horicon. That's the most accurate snowfall report. 9.1 inches there. Boscobel got 6, Partyville 5.8. We also had the Dells at 5.5. Dodgeville at 5, and Milwaukee just got under 5 inches of snowfall. Arena 4.5, the station almost 4 inches. I took that measurement. It was same as Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington's that he took last night as well. Watertown 3 inches, Madison, Verona, and Sun Prairie 2 inches. But again, some of those are not as accurate because those were reported earlier. So if you have anyone, send those in to us for sure. This is live look over Dodgeville. That was one of the areas that received 5 inches of snowfall. Still seeing some snow-covered roads out there too, and low visibilities. This is overlooking the Capitol in downtown Madison. You can see foggy conditions, not as low of visibilities as what we had earlier, but still about 5 miles or under, and that will continue as the snow moves out of here. Those should come up a little bit, but expect that until mid to late morning. This is Platteville, one of those areas that actually received the least amount of snowfall overnight and even yesterday. So those road conditions a lot better than what we're tracking across Madison, Dane County, and then also east and northeastward. This morning, most of the flurries still falling Madison and then southward. That will continue to be the case as we get closer to the evening hours. We'll actually start to see some sunshine. That's before a few clouds move back in. But temperatures are really going to dip overnight. So any surface that goes untreated and winds are going to potentially gust up to about 30-35 miles per hour, will blow some of that snow back onto those previously treated roadways. So we will likely see impacts definitely through late morning, but then we could see again a couple slick spots out there tonight because check out our low, 6 degrees. It's going to be very chilly. Wind chills could be near about 0 tonight. Little to no melting this weekend, but then we could start to see a little bit of melting as temps warm above freezing level into early next week with some rain Monday. But by definition, a white Christmas, you have to have 1 inch of snow on the ground on Christmas Day. So those areas that got 6+ inches might see a white Christmas. Don't know for sure about Madison, but we still could see some, but not snow actively falling on Christmas Day.
It's looking a lot better though. We're going to have some snow on the ground for Christmas.
Absolutely.
That's great.
At least we won't have any commute issues at that point, hopefully. At least due to snow.
All right. Thank you, Savannah.
You're welcome.
Hey, you saw the weekend forecast on the planner. We're checking in with Josh Breider, see what's going on in the 608 this weekend. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Chris. Good morning once again. So it's the weekend before Christmas. We know now's the time you have to support all of your favorite holiday traditions, and I'm featuring just a few of them today. We begin in Janesville, where 147 decorated trees fill the Lincoln Tallman Museum at the Rock County Historical Society's annual holiday tree show. Each tree is sponsored and decorated by local businesses, nonprofits, and individuals. Tours include several new highlights, including a scavenger hunt for children and holiday activity booklets for extra fun. Santa will also be available for photos through December 23rd. The Santa So families, individuals, even pets are welcome to enter the mansion at no cost and take a photo with Santa. The tree show dates are Thursdays through Sundays through December 30th. Tickets are $15 or free for anyone 12 and under. But again, you can go in and see Santa for free and then hit the road right after that. They're making it nice and easy for you. Well, just down the road from there is the holiday light show at the Rotary Botanical Gardens. Over 1.6 million lights illuminate the beautiful garden paths and the dazzling display of holiday cheer. They're open every night from 4:30 to 8:30 minus Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. They're also closed New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Tickets are $15 for adults, $5 for kids, and those 2 and under are free. Proceeds support the preservation and maintenance of the gardens throughout the year. Finally, all aboard the Holiday Express, you can enjoy large-scale model trains from the Wisconsin Garden Railway Society, chugging through a festive scene at Old Brook Botanical Gardens. They're open every day except for Christmas Day from now through the 31st. This year, trains weave through a magical landscape of candy-colored poinsettias, surrounding a tempting array of sugary treats. I'm in. Admission is $8 for adults, $5 for kids, and those under 5 are free. For more happenings in the 608, you can go to channel3000.com and just click on our section. You know, we've been waiting for the snowfall. I'm thinking the Olin Park lights. I'm thinking the zoo lights. I'm thinking the Rotary lights up in Wanakee, the University Ave lights. All these places are going to really look good with that fresh snow.
We've been waiting to go to the Olin Park lights for some snow, and definitely I don't think we're alone. So yeah, if you go tonight or over the weekend, you know,
it's going to be huge.
You know, make sure you plan plenty of time. You know how the getting in there, it takes forever with the backups and the traffic and everything.
Especially from the Beltline down John Nolan, that thing's going to be backed up.
Right.
But we love it. I mean, I'm thinking over the last few winters, we really haven't had a nice snowfall going into Christmas like this. So
we've earned it.
We have.
Yeah, we've waited long enough.
Nice and fresh outside.
All right, Josh, thanks for pulling double duty this morning.
Yes, you know it. Always here.
Josh is always looking for inspirational stories to share with you. If you got one, reach out, and it might wind up on TV. All right, still ahead, we've got an opportunity to give back to the community this morning. And in our next half hour, what lawmakers have to do in Washington to avoid a government shutdown. As we head to break, here's what gas is selling at this morning. We're back right after this. Hey, we're back here at 623. We've got an opportunity for you to get some special food and help out sick children who could really use your help this holiday season. Jess Random from the Melting Pot is here with us this morning to talk about what they're doing special for a good cause this morning. Thanks for coming in. What have you brought us?
Welcome. So I figured because of the snow and the cold, I wanted to spice your morning up a little bit. And I brought you our fiesta. Let me top that with some jalapenos for you.
Jalapenos for good measure.
There we go.
Boy, so this program that you've got in connection with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, what do folks need to know about it and how can they help?
Well, one of the biggest things I always say is if you're looking for the best gift, the gift of hope is huge.
Oh, that's
so
well said.
At all of our locations, we are doing what's called donate and dine cards, where when you donate, you get money back. But the cool thing at our locations, our Madison and Brookfield location, you can donate and the savings is bigger. So to me, it's almost like saying, you're donating to this cause, and the Melting Pot is saying thank you.
Oh, boy. And the good work that they do at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is so important and so critical to not only helping the sick kids, but also the advancement of a lot of the life-saving research that they do there. What are some of your favorite things about what St. Jude Children's Research Hospital does?
Well, I think it's amazing. So when they started, they were only at a 20% success rate. Mm-hmm. Right now, they're at an 80%, and they are not giving up until they're at 100%. Oh. But the biggest thing is it is literally fueled by donations. Yeah. The families, they do not get a bill at all.
Never pay a penny.
They never pay a penny. So to me, this is just, as I said, it's an amazing cause.
Yeah, having been fortunate enough to visit the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis a couple of times and to see firsthand the lives that they impact and the work that they do, it's a very worthy cause. And you got an opportunity there with the Well, I don't want to screw it up. What are the cards called?
They're called Donate and Dine.
Donate and Dine cards with the melting pot. Jess,
Yes.
thanks so much for bringing in some yummy treats this morning. Love talking about how you can get more bang for your buck and doing some really good work as well. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you. Have a happy holidays.
You too, and Happy New Year. All right, let's kick it over to Savannah Brito and a look at your first warn forecast as we track all that snow out there. Hey.
Hey, Chris, thank you. We're still tracking alert day conditions solely because there are several areas across southern Wisconsin still dealing with slippery road conditions, and we'll be dealing with visibility issues through the morning, blowing and drifting snow. So yes, crews are out clearing and working hard to clear the roads, but any blowing snow will blow that back onto the roadways, and because that low at 6 degrees tonight could run into some issues out there. We'll have the latest on snowfall reports when we get back. Well, we're tracking the latest on your alert day conditions, when we'll see improvements underway, and a recap of how much snow everyone got across southern Wisconsin.
And an update on how Madison street crews are doing, clearing those streets for you, and how you can make sure that the work goes smoothly this morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Thanks for tuning into News 3 Now this morning on a snowy day in Madison. I'm Chris Stanford. Kyrie Lee is out on the roads this morning to help you on your way to work or school this morning. Let's start, though, with Savannah Brito and your first warn forecast. All right, look how gorgeous it is. Oh, get that map out of there. We gotta look at the patio. Get the map out of there. Let's talk. Look at Savannah out there in the snow.
Back.
Doesn't that look? It looks like a winter wonderland out there.
I will say it looks pretty. It's just driving in it that's not the best outside, especially if you're on back roads. So, I mean, that's the only problem. I like the way snow looks. If we didn't have to go anywhere, it wouldn't be a problem, right?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm trying to stick to the positive here.
Exactly, yeah, but it does look pretty. We'll have an update on those road conditions, but still, where it's actively snowing, you can see most of the blue did move off of radar, and you can just see a few light areas of white. Those are pretty much the flurries. We're still dealing with some blowing snow, some visibility issues, and all of that, but improvements will be underway. We'll have the latest on all of that, and like I mentioned, we'll talk snow totals across the area. If you have any updated ones, please send them our way this morning. I'll talk about that coming up in a bit, Chris.
All right, talk to you then. All right, let's get you another look at the roads this morning. Kyrie Lee out on the live drive this morning. What part of town are you in now, and how are things there?
Hey, Chris, good morning. Oh, there I am. We are coming up on University Avenue here in Madison. Going to turn the camera around so you can get a look at these road conditions this morning. Very snow covered. And if you even take a look over here to the side of your screen, you can see the University Ave lights. What a beautiful sight. Snow, not so much of a beautiful sight here, but we have done a little slipping and sliding, so definitely take it easy this morning. Seems like cars are definitely taking it easy. We're behind a plow right now, so they are out here working hard to, get these roadways cleared for your morning commute. But again, if you have to be somewhere, don't wait last minute. Allow yourself some extra time. But again, these snow plows working hard. I know it's going to take some time, especially with the snow just recently stopped falling. So Chris, I'm going to send it back over to you in the studio.
Yeah, and keep in mind that this is the day that a lot of folks are trying to get out of town to travel for the holidays. So combine the snow with the holiday rush and all the crews. Madison's got 150 pieces of equipment that are going to be sharing the roads with everybody this morning as they try to clear everything off. They expect things to be wrapped up by early this afternoon. All right, Kyrie, we will check back in with you in just a little bit. You and Mark stay safe out there. All right, let's take a look regionally here at what conditions look like. WISC-TV's 511 road conditions map showing that things to the south and to the west are looking pretty good. A lot of green there. That means good driving conditions. The blue, though, partially covered roads, and the pink, those are the areas you want to watch out for. That means that roads are snow covered. So we're watching a couple of areas in particular where things could be pretty dicey this morning. Highway 19 between Waterloo and Watertown, that is completely covered. And then 89 between Waterloo and Fort Atkinson, as well as 18 between Cambridge and Sullivan, as well as 73 from Deerfield all the way down past Edgerton and down into the Janesville area. And then there are also some spots further to the north, talking about Highway 151 from Columbus to Waupun, and parts of, let's see, Highway 16 next to Rio to Columbus. So it's it's spotty out there. I mean, especially to the west, or excuse me, to the east, and pretty much all the way to the east of the Madison metro area. Those snow-covered roads could be a problem. All right, we'll keep checking those conditions throughout the morning. Let's get a closer look at the metro. Josh Sprider with your first warn traffic today. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Chris. Good morning to you. So our one incident that we're following right now, this is in Janesville. This is I-39 northbound at Highway 11. We're seeing some slowdowns right now. I can tell you that crash has been moved over to the shoulder, so traffic's moving along a little bit better. Also seeing some reports that some traffic is now being allowed to use that exit onto Highway 11 eastbound. I'll get that confirmed for you here coming up in just a little bit, but Highway 14 is pretty slow as you approach the Janesville area from the east. Back here in Madison, starting to see some colors showing up. Highway 12, 18, if you're approaching the interstate from the east side, that is quite slow, but the Beltline actually moving along just fine right now, and much better conditions as you move out to the south and west. A few slowdowns near Dodgeville, but crews obviously are busy out there trying to get everything going here as folks are off and running for the Friday morning commute and before the big holiday rush. Chris, back to you.
All right, thanks, Josh. Those school delays are also piling up. We've got over 25 now. A lot of rural districts starting things off late today around 10 o'clock or a couple of hours late, so you can check the ticker at the bottom of your screen or channel3000.com for the full list of school closures. All right, back to the city of Madison. They have not declared a snow emergency for today, but they are taking action and working to clear those roads citywide. City expects plowing to take until early this afternoon, so you're going to share the road with 150 pieces of equipment this morning if you are headed out. If you own a home, you may have to shovel the driveway and your sidewalk. You're definitely going to want to do that. Of course, expect the roads to be slippery, and because those plows were out overnight, you're probably going to have a big pile at the end of your driveway. The City of Madison needs some help to make their work go smoothly today. Keep a safe distance from the plows. Please don't cut them off. And if you can, park off-street if possible. If today is your trash and recycling day, please don't place it on the street or next to the curb. Try to pull it up into your yard. That makes it much easier for those snow plows to get through, especially in those tight residential streets. The Streets Division is going to continue to monitor their conditions and provide updates, and we will pass those along as we can. If you want to track the snow yourself or get school closings right in the palm of your hand, just download the free First Warn Weather and Traffic app. 6:36 now. Back to our continuing coverage of the Abundant Life school shooting. There's now a growing memorial outside of the school. You take a closer look here, you'll see the two crosses from Hearts of Mercy and Compassion. They represent student Ruby Vergara and teacher Aaron West. They're the two who were shot on Monday at the school. There is a space for people to write messages on those crosses. Volunteers are there to help people pray as well. They come from Billy Graham Evangelical Rapid Response Team. They say they often travel to schools which have experienced gun violence.
When I got here Monday night and immediately met with the pastoral staff, and we are just so amazed by the love of the faculty, the love of the members of the congregation.
Meantime, there are church services at the neighboring city church happening. That's also where Ruby Vergara's funeral will happen tomorrow morning. Aaron West's funeral, the teacher, will happen on Monday. To the nation's capital this morning, where lawmakers are scrambling to pass a bill to keep the government open. Without it, the government is poised for a shutdown at midnight tonight. This comes after House Republicans failed to push through their own spending measure yesterday. The bill was a slimmed-down version of the previous spending package that both parties had agreed to. It was then when President-elect Donald Trump spoke against that plan. This led to some Republicans voting against it. Now, if the government does shut down, it will not be able to pay some federal workers. That includes those with the TSA.
It could be very bad if it gets to a point where TSA workers have to choose between, am I going to feed my children, put gas in my car, or come to work because they're without a paycheck. That's definitely going to affect the way that passengers travel throughout the nation.
And of course, it would all come before some of the busiest travel days of the year. All right, let's check in with Savannah Brito now and what's coming up in your First Warn forecast. Hey there.
Hey, good morning. We're still dealing with some flurries falling, and the snow patio actually did clear this off, but you can see a lot of that blowing because the winds allowing more snow to fall and move over it. We'll talk about why the temperatures are going to be problematic heading into tonight for any untreated roadways.
And it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in the 608 this morning. I'll have your weekend in the 608 rundown just ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back at 6:41 on a Friday morning. I'm Josh Friday with your first warning traffic as we keep an eye on your morning commute. More snowfall overnight means some dicey conditions out on the roadways. Here's a look at southern Wisconsin right now. A lot of colors showing up on the map. 151 near Dodgeville. Seeing some slowdowns out to the south and west of Madison. Our one incident we've been following all morning. An update for you right now. This is I-39 northbound. Earlier, the right two lanes were blocked because of a crash. That has been cleared to the shoulder, so traffic is moving along. We're also starting to see that exit. If you're heading from the heading to the north, exiting at Highway 11, that exit was blocked off. They are starting to allow traffic to move through there at this hour, but we're still seeing quite a few slowdowns. Not as much on the interstate, but Highway 14, Highway 11 is quite slow on the east side. Back here in Madison, the Beltline starting to slow down, especially near Highway 151 and the interstate. Highway 12 east of the interstate also quite slow. 151 and 51 looking better at this hour. So we're seeing some improvement, Chris, but as more folks are heading out the door, I do expect to see some more slowdowns over the next half hour or so.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me either. All right, Josh, talk to you soon. Let's get a look regionally at how road conditions are looking. Things starting to clear up a little bit over towards Milwaukee. The southwest part of the state looking real good too. Green conditions there. The blue means roads are partially covered with snow. It's the pink that are totally snow covered. So we are watching some trouble spots just east of the metro, to the southeast, to the northeast, to the east in general. We've been keeping an eye on Highway 73 between Deerfield through the Edgerton area down near Janesville, where things are snow covered. 106 through Fort Atkinson, that as well. Highway 19 between Waterloo and Watertown, up a little bit further north. The Rio, Columbus, Oak Grove area, that up there is looking pretty slow as well through Beaver Dam too. Things around the Madison metro area, partially snow covered. So if you're headed out this morning, be advised you're going to run into mostly partially snow covered roads and mostly snow covered roads if you're anywhere to the east this morning. All right, moving on here. We're going to check in on what the roads in Madison look like. So there's no snow emergency. City crews have said they're going to clear the whole city, though. So let's see how they're doing with that. Kyrie Onley is out on the live drive this morning with Mark Schilling behind the wheel. Where are you now and how are things looking?
Good morning, Chris. Yeah, we're on the Beltline heading east. Going to turn the camera around real quickly. Look like we have some law enforcement, or no, not law enforcement. Looks like we got some different snow plows and tow trucks along the highway. So not sure what's going on there, but we are on the Beltline. Beltline seems to be moving pretty smoothly right now. That wasn't the case earlier this morning. But speeds have picked back up, but it just seems like just some wet pavement that we're dealing with right now. But some of those residential roads, if you're in town, not looking so good right now. But again, as Chris mentioned, they are working to clear the whole city. But yes, we are on the Beltline heading east right now. Speeds are at normal. Gonna clear the little pathway here for you. But yeah, things are looking good, but still take it easy this morning. And I'm gonna turn it around one more time because as Josh mentioned, there are more cars joining us on the roadways as the morning goes on for your commute. So again, just give yourself some space and some distance, but otherwise things on the Beltline looking pretty good right now.
Yeah,
Chris?
you're going to be sharing the road with a lot of those snow removal crews. Thanks, Kyrie. Talk to you here in just a little bit. Let's get to Savannah Burrito now. She's got a look at your first warned weather. Has the snow pretty much wrapped up? Are we pretty much done with it now?
We're just seeing a little bit of flurries at this point in time, but nothing that's going to lead to any additional accumulations out there. Just a few areas of flurries. You can really see them on radar. That big area of snow that we saw added moisture levels way south of here now and really did break up. So aside of flurries, that's the only thing you're going to be seeing the remainder of the day. It's also pretty breezy. This sky camera over Dodgeville, which by the way, did report one of the heavier of the side of snowfall totals that we got yesterday. Some of those roadways down there, you can really see the grassy surfaces completely covered in snow this morning. And we're still tracking visibility issues closer to home across downtown Madison. You can see the Capitol surrounded by some visibility loss out there. Most of our area about at 5 miles, which is an improvement from what we had earlier. And then Platteville, one of the areas that received the least amount of snow. Let's go over snowfall totals that we got. Most of these did come in yesterday about around lunchtime. Some of the later reports were basically Boscobel, Partyville, Horicon. Horicon's the most accurate reading and also the one that I took at the station early this morning. The rest of those were earlier in the day yesterday. So if you have updated snowfall totals, send them our way. Horicon 9.1 inches, Boscobel got 6, Partyville almost 6. The Dell is 5.5, Dodgeville 5. Milwaukee got nearly 5 inches of snowfall. Some other areas closer, Arena 4.5. I measured almost 4 inches, 3.8 inches here at the station. Watertown 3, Madison, Verona, and Sun Prairie 2 inches. But again, those were yesterday between noon and about 2:30 p.m. Temperatures right now are below freezing level, and they will remain that way, especially tonight. I do want to note it's going to be very breezy, winds gusting up to 30 to 35 miles per hour. So crews are working hard to clear those roadways, but we'll see drifting and blowing snow continue through the next couple of days, really tonight into tomorrow, as temperatures fall to only a low near 6 degrees. I'm worried about that solely because temperatures are going to be very, very cold. So any untreated roadways, the snow could blow back across those areas and allow several slick spots, icy spots. So allow extra time no matter where you're traveling or no matter the time of day you're traveling today, especially this morning though. We'll see little melting though over the weekend. Temperatures are going to be below freezing level, and then Monday we'll see some rain, especially in the afternoon move in, and temperatures warm above freezing levels. So we could see a little bit of melting, but because some areas, those places that got 5, 6, 7, 8, even 9 inches of snow, could see and wake up to a white Christmas on Christmas Day, not because snow will be falling, but just because we have a bed of snow laid down already this morning.
I'm loving the sound of that. I'm still hoping we see one in Madison. Fingers crossed that it doesn't get too warm on Monday.
It's possible.
All right. Thank you, Savannah. All right. We are keeping an eye really quick. A few delays at Dane County Regional Airport this morning. Nothing major, nothing canceled, but things might be running a little bit slow at Dane County Regional. Hey, it's almost the weekend in the 608. Josh Sprider's here with 3 things to do this weekend. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Chris. So it's the weekend before Christmas. Now's the time to support all of your favorite holiday traditions. I'm featuring just a few of them this morning. We begin in Janesville, where 147 decorated trees fill the Lincoln Tallman Museum at the Rock County Historical Society. You can go support them right now for the Holiday Tree Show. Each tree is sponsored and decorated by local businesses, nonprofits, and individuals. Tours include several new highlights, including a scavenger hunt for children and holiday activity booklets for extra fun. Santa will be available for photos through December 23rd as well. Families, individuals, and even pets are welcome to enter the mansion at no cost. So this is free. You can take a photo with Santa.
Cool.
And head on out. The tree show dates are Thursdays through Sundays through December 30th. Tickets are $15 or free for anyone 12 and under. But again, the Santa photos are free.
Gorgeous. You featured them in the 608. And
it's so cool.
It's beautiful any time of the year. It's really cool in there with the Christmas trees up. Really magical.
The grandest entrance you can ever expect to moving on in there. It's so cool.
And free. Can't beat that.
Love that. So just down the road from there is the holiday light show at Rotary Botanical Gardens. Over 1.6 million lights, 1.6 million lights illuminate the beautiful garden paths in the display of holiday cheer. They're open every night from 4:30 to 8:30, minus Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. They're also closed New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Tickets are $15 for adults, $5 for kids, and those 2 and under are free. And remember, your proceeds are going to help them support that preservation and maintenance of the gardens all year long. So super important there. Finally, all aboard the Holiday Express, you can enjoy large-scale model trains from the Wisconsin Garden Railway Society chugging through a festive scene at Olbrook Botanical Gardens in Madison. They're open every day except for Christmas Day from now through the 31st. This year, trains weave through a magical landscape of candy-colored poinsettias surrounding a tempting array of sugary treats. I'm intrigued. Admission is $8 for adults, $5 for kids, and those under 5 are free. For more holiday happenings in the 608, you can visit channel3000.com. It's going to be a wonderful weekend, a magical weekend for a lot of kids, a lot of families, especially, we mentioned you're going to hit up the Olin Park lights.
That's going to have to happen.
It's going to be perfect. They've been waiting, the last couple of years when I've interviewed the folks out there setting up, they're like, we need some snow. It just isn't the same.
Yeah, and the people have been waiting for it, and now it's here. And if you're coming from John Nolan Drive to get on there, you want to make sure you come from the Beltline. If you got to take a left turn into Olin Park, you're going to be waiting for a while. Yeah, those backups get really long, and especially
be patient,
with as busy as it will be this weekend. Josh Sprider, thanks for those 3 things. Josh is always looking for inspiration to share with you folks. Got an idea for him? Let him know about it. Coming up in the morning sprint, workers at another major chain going on strike. We'll let you know which one. And if you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us a picture. 6:54 time for the morning sprint. Josh Breiter starts it off with first alert traffic. Hey there.
Hey, Chris, good morning to you. We start with a positive update. That incident on I-39 North at Highway 11 has been cleared. We're in the green down there closer to Madison. We're starting to see some backups on the Beltline, especially from Stoughton Road westbound towards Monona Drive. Seeing some red there. The rest of the Madison area not too bad. Much better conditions as you move south and west of Madison. That's your first one traffic.
Thanks, Josh. City of Madison currently not declaring a snow emergency. They are, though, going to still take action to clear all city streets for your morning commute. They need your help, though, to do that smoothly, so make sure you're keeping a safe distance and don't cut those plows off. Park off-street if possible, and don't put your trash and recycling bins next to the curb. Lawmakers scrambling in Washington this morning to pass a bill to fund the federal government. Without it, the government is poised for a shutdown at midnight tonight. It comes after House Republicans failed to push through their own spending measure yesterday. The bill was a slimmed-down version of the previous spending package that President-elect Donald Trump was against. This led to some Republicans voting against it. Baristas at Starbucks going on strike. It starts this morning and will last 5 days. It comes amid a dispute over pay and working conditions. Workers United, the union representing over 11,000 baristas, is organizing it. Walk-offs will start in LA, Chicago, and Seattle. They'll then spread to other locations. We're not sure how this will affect Madison Starbucks at this point.
Well, here's an updated list of snowfall totals that we got. Most of these were reported yesterday. Horicon, one of the areas that saw the most, 9.1 inches. I took a measurement just under 4 inches here at the station. Similar areas that just got about 4, 5, even 6 inches of snowfall. So any problems that we have with road conditions overnight is going to be because of blowing and drifting snow and cold temperatures.
All right. Thank you, Savannah. Travel safe, folks. We're back in 30 minutes with the news and weather update.